W.F. House presents an unabridged recording of Trust Me, You Will Survive by Dominik Stoltman, narrated by Luke Stoltman.
In memory of my mother, Leocadia, whose deep faith has sustained me all my life. Foreword by Neil Asherson. When Alfred Jarry wrote Ubi Roy, his fantasy about tyranny, he set it in Poland, that is to say, nowhere. At that time, before the First World War, there was indeed no Poland on the atlas. The three partitions at the end of the 18th century had abolished the Polish state and distributed its territory and people between the empires of Russia, Prussia, later Germany, and Austria. And when it has existed in the atlas sense, Poland has taken many different shapes and sizes, extending at one moment to a vast ramshackle commonwealth filling the space between Baltic and Black Sea, or vanishing altogether for over a century, or appearing briefly as a semi-independent satellite of France in the Grand Duchy of Warsaw. Finally, after 1945, Poland was moved bodily several hundred miles to the west, without the consent of the Poles, to the place in Europe which it now occupies. Poland, in short, has paid the full price down the centuries for the ambitions and ideologies of other powers. And yet Poland, even when it could not be found on a map, has always existed. It has existed as a nation and a culture. But it has also existed as a series of reproaches, even satires, against the grand ideas of other countries. In Poland, the human reality of those grand ideas is relentlessly exposed. Stability can mean foreign occupation, democracy can mean a one-party dictatorship, victory in a world war can actually mean defeat, the loss of national independence and the seizure of Polish territory by others. Even patriotism, the most passionate of Polish feelings, is not some pure and incandescent emotion, but a way of confronting terrifying dilemmas. This is why Dominik Stoltman's Memoir is such an important book. It is a priceless contribution to the history of our own times, not just to Polish history, precisely because it is not the tale of simple heroism. It is a lesson in dilemmas. It is a course in how ordinary people can find their winding path through the moral maze of an inhumane system, the Nazi.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?